Welcome to the spa. Are you ready for your almost daily dose of optimism and gratitude? Um, Today, I really wanted to address this because when I woke up, I just felt so good that I had pushed myself out of my boundaries. Um, and I was really grateful that I just pushed through and didn't let it kind of weigh me down. Um, and it's I guess I'd like to think I'm a pretty optimistic person overall, but obviously even optimistic people have very pessimistic moments. We can have moments where we just can't see the light, and I definitely think that comes from our surroundings sometimes. Like, sometimes I feel like an optimistic person, sometimes I feel like a pessimistic person. And I think everyone kind of has that up and down. It's kind of got to do with confidence or the mood and the vibe being presented to you. So I do think there's a natural up and down to it, but the sky was just fucking beautiful today. I saw a rainbow when I was driving, and then I my friend's song came on. I'm gonna link that in the description, but it's not today's song. I want to save that for the future. Um, Plus, I did have a song that really hit me today, but that one did come on while I was looking at a rainbow, and then ended up seeing a double rainbow. Um, I do have pictures. I'll be posting those on Instagram. But that song, we did the music video together. And I remember being at the beach filming with him and just the wind hitting me and the sound of the waves. And it was nighttime. We weren't swimming, we were just filming. But it just felt so peaceful and wonderful. And I remember talking to someone about them being really stressed out or really, having that pessimism in their daily life at that time. And that can be hard when you're battling the ongoing, persistent feeling of pessimism. And so I hope I don't sound ignorant saying that. I don't know if it's technically accurate grammatically. Oh well, whatever. We're rolling with it. That's what we're saying. Um, Anyway, I asked them, well, what's your happy place? For me, it's the woods. I love being surrounded by trees with the sounds of fucking cars far away and the sound of electricity. If you can hear it too, comment. Let me know I'm not a fucking alone. I swear I can hear the light bulbs sometimes. Like I can just hear electricity and it drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. Anyway, um, and they told me the beach, right? And so I told them, like, when you go there, you're feeling good, you're feeling relieved, right? Well, yes, of course, that's your happy place. Automatically, a weight is kind of getting lifted off of you when you go to your happy place. For everyone, it's different. For every person, it's a different place. If you don't know your happy place, my biggest advice to you today is figure it the fuck out. You need to know it can be riding on a four wheeler, it can be driving on the highway at night. It can be a place. It can be your fucking bed. Like, I don't know. But when you get there, all the stress just starts to drain from you. But I told her to take it a step further. Okay. Because when you're at the beach is a great place, especially because if you're not swimming or you are swimming, it doesn't matter. Just close your eyes. You can hear the wind, you can hear the waves coming in and receding, and just imagine that you are letting that bad energy get pulled out of you and into the ocean. For me, in the woods, you may say, well, how do you do that? you're in the woods. There's no fucking sounds of the ocean to pull that out. The ocean is a really good one, okay? But you can still do it in other places. In the woods, personally, I like to sit in a chair and look at the sky, up at the trees, through the trees, or I like to lay on the ground because I don't mind laying in the grass on a blanket or something. I don't want the fucking ants on me. Um, or on a tree stump or sitting up against a tree. It doesn't matter, but in that situation, you just feel the stress, the anxiety, all of the overwhelming feelings just drain to the bottom of you, whether it's your feet, your butt, your back. I don't know. Are you sitting? Are you laying? What are you doing? Um, and just feel the ground absorb that out of you and cleanse that energy. And I know that sounds really woo woo and whatever, we can say that. But the fact of the matter is that you are putting energy into the idea of purging your negative feelings and feeling better. So even if it is woo woo, you are actively focusing on feeling better, which arguably that's not woo woo. So just doing it in your happy place, using the sounds and the feelings, the rustling leaves, whatever it is, the ocean, the birds chirping, it's like a meditation. Most of us, I don't think, can focus long enough to actually meditate. My ADHD brain doesn't go quiet. I can't not think. So when I'm thinking about the sounds of the ocean or the wind or the birds or the leaves rustling, I'm thinking, but I'm able to calm my mind. You know what I mean? Um, Also, it can be hard when there are external factors like people um, making your day rough. And I admittedly struggle with that a lot. And some wise words from someone that I know are don't let other people's actions dictate your own. So if you can remember, like, you need to stay true to yourself and who you want to be, I feel like most of us feel like we're good, nice, kind people. We all want to believe that we're good people. So when someone is angering you, try to remember, like, I think I'm a good person, so how would a good person react? Do not let that person acting like a heathen, that's one of my favorite words, dictate the way you would react as a person overall. If you're an overall kind person, find the kind way to respond, or at least hold your fucking tongue. Try to. Of course, this is easier said than done. I am very fucking aware of that. This is way easier said than done. Personally, I have also a lot of intrusive thoughts that just come in that are negative, and you have to find your way of doing it. Some people will, one of my friends likes to imagine the thought is on a TV and she changes the channel or turns it off, right? Me, I stab the thought in my brain until it stops existing. That's the only thing that works for me. I literally stab the image or thought that is in my head because I don't really see images. So, yeah, I'm one of those people. But I just stab it and stab it and stab it and stab it until it stops. And it works for me. Um, that's another tip I have for that. But one of the big things that I do want to say today is do not worship the thing that you are worrying about. Worrying is literally worship of that thing that is bad, that is hurting you, that you are scared of. You are thinking about it, putting energy to it, and praising it. Even though it's in a negative way, you are giving energy to that thing. You might as well worship it. So that kind of sounds ridiculous, right? You don't want, why would you worship the things that you don't want? Obviously, okay, so stop worrying. Until that thing happens, you shouldn't worry about it because right now, until you know whether something's going to happen or not, there's nothing you can do except for worry. And by worrying it, you're making it more powerful. You're worshiping it by worrying about it. So you won't know the steps, the actions that you need to take until you get there. So just let it go until it's time to figure it out. Because what if you spend 12 hours worrying about something and then it doesn't even happen? You wasted your entire day. It could have been good and productive, feeling miserable for something that didn't even happen. Definitely the worrying has to cut out. Um, and I explained it to, funnily, oddly enough, that was funnily, the fuck did I even say? Oddly enough, I expressed this idea out of nowhere, just came out of my ass. Really, a lot of stuff does. Sorry. To two girls at Chick-fil-A, two teenage girls. Um, I gotten called into work, which is my least favorite thing. Like, if I know ahead of time I have to work extra, cool, whatever. But if I wake up to a phone call saying somebody didn't show up and I have to, I fucking lose my mind, right? And so I'm really working on not being that way. And when I got to work, me and the coworker, once they finally arrived, obviously kind of got into an argument because this was an ongoing issue. Yeah, it hurt my feelings. It was annoying. I don't like fighting. Yeah, I had enough of that in my childhood and early adulthood. I don't fucking need it anymore. So I finish up what I'm doing and I go to get breakfast because it's still early. I got called in at like 7 o'clock and I was leaving by like 10:30. Thank God. So I stop at Chick-fil-A and the girls ask me, "Oh, how are you doing today?" And I said, "Well, I'm having a terrible day, but I'm in a great mood." And the girl kind of looks at me confused or inquisitively, like, because she's just a teenager. And the other one just doesn't give a fuck. But one of them looks at me, and I tell her, well, I got into an argument with my coworker because he did not show up to work. This several times this has happened in the past month. Um, and then we got into an argument about it. I got called into work and I argued with my coworker. And then I asked her, I said, well, what do you girls think? Do you think that would ruin your whole day? Or how do you think you would handle that? If this happened to you, how do you think you would handle it? Would it ruin your day? And of course, both of them said, well, yeah, probably. I don't know, but probably, because that's how most of us think. And me as well, sometimes. Like, I can't always get myself away from that, you know, it's hard. But I told her, I said, well, think about it this way. If you let every bad moment dictate your feelings, your day, then a bad argument turns into a bad day. And a bad day turns into a bad week. And a bad week turns into a bad year and then a bad life. Before you know it, you have let your emotions dictate your entire life. When in fact, you can control them. You are in control of them. Now, don't get me wrong, I do have depression, and there are things that you can't always battle. But when you are capable of fighting that battle and letting it go, take a deep breath and decide what's worth fighting for. I'm fighting for a good day. That's what I'm fucking fighting for. I'm fighting for a good day. I want a good week. I want a good year. I want a good life. And I want to be happy. And I'm not going to let one argument dictate the rest of my day. Um, Obviously, that can be hard. Um, Music and sitting outside in nature, um, doing something that makes you happy, all of these are things that can definitely help. But you have to figure out what method works the best for you. Today's song of the day is by Croosh. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. And it's called Patiently Posted. Um, Originally, my friend's song called Just Want to Have Fun, which will be linked in the description. The video that we filmed together, our very first ever music video ever. Um, so we did that together. That originally was going to be my song. It did hit me. I did see, the rainbows. It was a beautiful day. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all about the gratitude and acknowledging all the things that you need to be grateful for. That's another way to push bad thoughts out of your head. So every situation is different, and some situations are bad. And it's hard sometimes to get past the bad. And so I had a friend of mine talking to me at some point in my life, and they were telling me like they got denied for an apartment that they wanted because it was for low income. And so they made too much money, which, I mean, arguably that's a good thing, but I've been in that situation and it's tough. It's scary because you don't think that you don't think you make enough. Like, really, you don't think you make enough. That's why you applied for those apartments, you know? And so I told them, I was like, well, you got to trust that everything happens for a reason if you believe that, which we do, me and this person. And so I just told them, well, tell me three things that you're grateful for. And so they told me, and he goes, but it's just that this situation. And I said, no, 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 no. Stop telling me about the negative. We're not worshiping that. We're not doing that. What do you have to be grateful for? You make enough money to be denied, as shitty as that is, but it's a good thing. That means you make a decent amount of money compared to the rest of like the median, okay? And that also means, that there's a potential for you to move somewhere nicer. Um, and you still have a roof over your head. You're not kicked out of the place that you're at. You have dogs that love you and make you feel good. You have a partner that loves you and makes you feel good. And y'all are working together right now to find a better place for you, to find a better place for the both of you. So, like, you're alive. You have the tools to groom yourself. You have nice clothes to wear. Yeah, things aren't perfect, but there's plenty to be grateful for. And yeah, it's hard, but if you stop thinking about, for every bad thought you have, give me three things that you're grateful for. You just got to try. Try to say three things that you love about yourself when you're feeling like shit. Scrape the bottom of the barrel if you have to. It doesn't matter. Um, it's hard to be confident, positive. It's hard to be grateful sometimes when everything seems to be going wrong. But I promise you, if you stop to look and think about it, there's always something to be grateful for. You just have to find that thing. I'll see you later.